Let's talk to my buddy right here, Joshua Michael Woods, entrepreneur, artist, singer, songwriter, and cowboy.
Fair enough. I'll take it.
How the heck you been doing?
Oh, I've been doing better than I deserve.
You said you'd written a couple songs. You're not ready to perform them yet, but you've written a couple songs.
Yeah,
Can you kind of share?
Over the weekend, I wrote 2 songs. One of them was called Right Lane Riding.
Mm-hmm.
And the story on that is pretty much, I was at work one day, driving a big old Ford F550 just in the right lane. I love that truck. But
550, is that a 2-ton?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's a
I'm
big
not country enough to know that. But I was born in Charlotte, North Carolina. But
I didn't know that.
Well, there you go.
I didn't know that.
But so I was just, big old truck, just riding in the right lane, going a little bit under the speed limit, going to a job site.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the idea of right lane riding. You're not in a hurry. You're not trying to get anywhere fast. You're just enjoying the day, enjoying the car, and right lane riding.
Right lane
and
ride.
So I
wow.
wrote that song, and it turned out really good. I think it's one of my better ones. This time I focused a lot more on the music than just the lyrics, and so I'm expanding that too. And the other one I wrote is I wrote the chorus for this last November. It's kind of a cheesy.
Is that the name of it? Last November?
Right Lane Riding was the name of the other song.
Okay.
But the second song I wrote over the weekend, I'd written the chorus for it last November.
Oh, okay, last November.
Yeah, different song.
Yeah.
Right Lane Riding I wrote all, I guess, the other day. But the second song I'd written, it's a little cheesy song, kind of a love song called Mustard and Me.
Mustard and Me.
Yeah, and it's a funny song. I'd written the chorus again at work. I was just, riding in the truck and sang it into my Notes app.
Notes app, wow.
Or not the Notes app, the little voice recording app.
Yeah.
And the chorus goes, and I spilled mustard on my lapel when I tried to muster the courage to tell you what you mean to this boy so green, but now all I have is this mustard in me. And it's a cheesy little song.
But you never know what's
fun.
going to be accepted out there, do you?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll go back to George Jones. He stopped loving her today.
I love that song.
He told the writers of that song, ain't nobody go buy or listen to this, and he used some pretty foul language I won't use right now, but this old depressing song.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be a #1, and he and Tammy Wynette's Stand By Me, they had the number. Those are the 2 #1 and #2 songs of all years.
Wouldn't surprise me. Those are beautiful songs.
It is, but I guess that's why you should never frown on a song, because you don't know how it's going to hit somebody.
Exactly. Johnny Cash experienced that with one of his first records, Walk the Line.
Oh, yeah.
He thought, when he heard that on the radio the first time, he was driving in his car around Memphis, and he called Sam Phillips when he could get to a phone, and he's like, dude, you got to take that off the radio. That is awful. That's the worst song I've ever heard. And Sam Phillips kind of talked him down from the ledge. He convinced Johnny, let's give it some time, let's see what happens. But Johnny
he had written.
I think, he had written that, and John was so embarrassed about it.
Really?
But it turned out to be his biggest song during his career.
So you just never. You don't. I've heard many stories like that. You just never know what the public's going to accept. The mustard. I mean, you never
mustard
know.
And me.
You never know. You never know who's listening to you. You never know what a product out there. I think about mustard, the product itself. You never know how that's going to
get a sponsorship with Heinz.
All of a sudden, Heinz says, you know what? That we can use that. You just never know. You're a young man. You have young ideas. You don't mind, and I've used this a lot lately, you don't mind getting outside your box. And that's what people are looking for.
Yeah. That's something I've noticed, and it's actually a really interesting segue. Songwriting for me, I think the greatest lesson I've learned when I've been improving my songwriting over the years is I think I've always been able to put words together well. The only thing I've had to really learn how to do is get out of my own way.
What do you mean by that?
Because as a songwriter, and I've heard tons of songwriters describe it this way, the songs almost are just already there. You're just writing it down. And I don't know if I believe in that, but I do believe that the songs, like, we kind of subconsciously have the song written. It's just a matter of allowing yourself to have that freedom to go out on a limb You know, the limb may break out underneath
Yeah.
you. You may fall down from the tree. But give yourself that freedom to accept the ideas that come into your head. So, for example, with Mustard and Me, I could have just written that off. Oh, that's cheesy. It's, you know, it's like you can't do anything with that. Who wants to listen to a song about mustard, you know? But I gave myself the freedom, I gave myself the grace to explore the idea. And it turns out to be a beautiful love song. You know, the gist of it is you see a beautiful woman, you ask her out on a date, and then you spill mustard on your lapel at dinner. But she shows grace, and it turns out she takes a little bit of mustard and then puts it on her lapel.
Oh, wow.
And she starts painting all over her dress with mustard. Just it allows you to save face, and it's also, I think, just a fun little story. But I never would have written that had I not given myself the freedom to make something kind of weird.
So when you're writing a song, you get it all written down, and then you look back. Is that when you move the fourth sentence into the second? I mean, is that when you start like a puzzle?
Sometimes.
Or is it already put together?
A puzzle, yeah. It's a lot like that. It depends on the song, but some of the songs, when I write them, I'll edit as I go along. So I may write one line and then edit that and then write another. And a large part of songwriting for me is I seldom know where the song's going to go before I finish it. And so as I'm going along, it's like I don't know what's going to happen next, but I just see, okay, I've written, this is the story so far. What's next in the story? And so, you know, for Mustard on My Lapel is a good example. The first chorus was, you're down on Main Street in this town, in this little small town, picturesque, and you see inside of a shop front window, there's this beautiful woman. And so then you walk inside, you introduce yourself. Okay, what's the next step? So verse 2. Verse 2 is, okay, you've introduced yourself, you asked her on a date, now you're at the restaurant. And then the second verse leads into the chorus, which I'd already written, which is, you spilled mustard on your lapel. And so
it's a process.
Yeah, and it unfolds as you go along. It's like you can't predict the future in a song, in songwriting. It's like you just write this, what's next? Write that, what's next? Write that, what's next?
Is it easy for you to then go back and put the music with it, the sound to it, or are you hearing the sound as you write? I'm asking dumb questions.
These are great questions.
I'm not
I love talking
songwriter.
about it. So it depends on how the song starts. So sometimes I may start with a melody or a chord progression. However, oftentimes I find I most start with a phrase or an idea, and so. Like,
then the music comes to you? Pretty
much,
okay,
yeah.
Wow.
So I'll, let's say, write out a phrase, and the phrase will tell you the rhythm of the song. If you're, let's say, like how many syllables are in the phrase, it'll tell you if it's a waltz, if it's 3/4, or if it's 4/4. You know, just 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you have, you know, the time of the song, and then you kind of figure out, okay, where do I want to sing this? So what key do I use? I usually use, you know, C, D, I like E, and stuff like that.
I've never, and I've talked to a lot of singer-songwriters over my career. I've never heard it explained. I get it.
Okay, good.
I know where where you're coming from. I wish I understood it.
Fair enough.
I wish I understood it enough to sit down and write a song. But now I see. I guess I think about Willie Nelson.
Yeah.
He'd go down
I love him.
Greatest singer-songwriters ever to live. But his guitar picking, and he makes that guitar match what he's saying. And other artists,
he's incredible, and I'm kind of proud to say he's my second cousin twice removed.
Wow.
He's my granddad's second cousin.
Let's go on the road again and find out more about that when we come back. Come back in here and join us with Joshua Michael Woods. We were just talking about how a song is put together, how you come up with the not just the lyrics but the music, what chord to go in.
Yes, sir.
And the song that you were just working on. Kind of walk me through that, because you've changed keys with this.
Yeah. So right here, this is called a capo, and it changes each fret is a half step up, and so if you have it no capo on, then that's an open, or it's E standard is what it's called. But if I were to put the capo on the first fret, that makes it F standard.
Mm-hmm.
If I do one more up, it's F sharp standard.
Wow.
And one more up, it's G standard. And so if I have it on the 3rd fret, which is G standard, and play an E shape, then I get a G chord. Likewise, if I do no capo and play the G shape, it's still a G chord.
Okay.
And so it just allows you to, play the same chord shapes, but just up the neck. And
So you just
it makes it
adjust.
simpler.
I'm sorry. You just adjusted that capo to the song that you just working
sir.
on. And the name of the song is
Alone and So Cold is the song I'll be playing for y'all today.
Alone and So Cold. You mind, man?
I can do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote this back in
Like it.
2022. I was in Memphis, Tennessee, just kind of sightseeing. And at the end of the day, I got a little stir crazy in the hotel. And so these words started coming out, but let's see. Stuck in this hotel room with nowhere to go, and the bars are all closed, so there's no drinking anymore. I'm locked in with the thoughts that plague my memory of a love I once knew with a girl named Marie. In the springtime when I met her at a juke joint in town, it was Memphis, Tennessee, I planned to buy her a gown. But as fast as she loved me, she threw it all away for a man she just met, her umbrella in the rain. And I'm stuck in this hotel room all alone with memories of her love and a ring that once shone. Well, I wish I had a bottle or someone to hold, but I'm stuck in this hotel room alone and so cold. Wish I could find another woman to love, but Marie was like no other, she's a rare turtle dove. And I know I must move on, never again she'll love me, but memories of the good times just won't leave me be. But I guess that's life, that's just how it goes. In the home of the blues, it's how the cold wind blows. Now the sky is crying and so am I, at the loss of my love and her deceitful eyes. And I'm stuck in this hotel room all alone with memories of her love and a ring that once shone. Well, I wish I had a bottle or someone to hold, but I'm stuck in this hotel room alone and so cold. No longer can I love you, no longer can I care, so I'm writing you this letter, you've left me in despair. So goodbye Memphis, goodbye Tennessee, goodbye to your new love, and goodbye Marie. So goodbye Memphis, goodbye Tennessee, goodbye to your new love, and goodbye, Marie.
Love that song. You know what I heard in the background?
Yeah.
Marie singing, going that as you were.
Interesting.
I mean, I could really hear a high voice in there, and we could call her Marie.
Yeah.
Almost an eerie. I mean,
Ooh, I like that idea.
That was a country western
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah.
That wasn't a country
That's
song.
kind of like something Marty Robbins.
Yeah, that's exactly who I was thinking about. Marty Robbins, is that somebody that you?
It's somebody I used to listen to him more. I loved his songs like "Cowboy in a Continental Suit," "Mr. Shorty," and stuff like that. I never really loved "Big Iron" or "El Paso,"
really?
which apparently are two of his biggest songs.
Yeah.
But
Sure, the ones you just mentioned,
Yeah.
they were catchy.
yeah, Oh, and two, Master's Call and You Gave Me a Mountain.
Oh yeah,
You Gave Me a Mountain. Elvis covered that one, and Master's Call.
Yeah,
I didn't know Frank did it too. But then Master's Call is one of the greatest gospel songs I've ever heard.
Okay, I'm not familiar with that, but
yeah, it's worth looking up. Master's Call by Marty Robbins.
Marty Robbins was a great singer-songwriter. He was a great entertainer.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard this story told on him on the Grand Ole Opry. You know, he had this time slot that he never, you're supposed to be out there.
Yes, sir.
If he's supposed to be out there for an hour, he's out there 3 hours, just entertaining the heck out of them. And a lot of time he would come from being in his stock car that he loved to race cars.
Yeah.
He'd leave the pits and head to the Grand Ole Opry.
Man.
But just such a, you know, he had fun singing a song. Golly,
Yeah, it's a lot of people compare my voice to his on certain songs I sing.
Okay.
'Cause I have that kind of opening up your throat and doing a little more like that.
I hear it.
Like, let's see. To the town of our Frio rode a stranger one fine day. Doing a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And so people always tell me, hey, you should do Marty Robbins music. And I'm like, I probably could do it well. But I don't know.
Do you? I don't think there's anything wrong with zeroing in on an artist. You know, to maybe help you with the way you sing. Because to me, personally, I think you're a great singer.
Thank you.
I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. I like your songwriting.
I appreciate
think it's got a lot of potential.
Yeah.
And I wish I really knew music enough to say, hey, this is what you need to do. But I'm gonna say it anyway.
Fair enough.
This is what you need to do. Thanks for coming out here again.
Yes, sir.
Will you
Always.
come back and join us? Will you bring Marty Robbins with you next time?
I'll try.
I don't want to see that. Thanks for coming out here, buddy.
Yes,
hey,
sir.
thank y'all for being with us. Let's bring Miss Amanda Sullivan up next from Cloud9 downtown, Alex City.